auto start. What I'd like to do is get linked up with everybody so that that we can auto start FLMessage and FLAmp. Okay. And then and you'll use that all the time. So if it just you minimize it to the taskbar and you just have the one screen up that's FL Digi, you won't have to use it, but it will pop up. FLMessage will pop up if you get a message. FLAmp won't. So um let's see, it is 7:30. Let me say a quick prayer here, everybody. And I missed that last week, and I would like to tonight. And hopefully we'll get other people coming on. So if everybody will mute we're getting some audio feedback through somebody's speaker there. So please mute yourselves if you're not talking. Our dear kind Father in heaven, we thank thee for the opportunity that we have to come together as a group in support of our community, in support of our priesthood leadership, in support of our emergency communications. Also in support of the enjoyment for ham radio, Father. We ask thee that thy spirit might be with us and guide us through this meeting, that we may understand the direction that you would have us go, and that we may best serve our community. Father, we thank thee for the wonderful blessings of this day. We thank thee for thy Son, Jesus Christ, and all the sacrifice and persecution he endured for us. Father, we thank thee once again. And we ask thy presence to continue to be with us as we go through this meeting. We do these things humbly in the name of thy loving Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. Okay. So how many we got on now? We've got 16. Let me field a couple of questions that people might have for just a few seconds here until we can get started. I don't want to get started too quick and not have everybody here that we had last week. So has anybody got any questions that I might help them with? Dang, you guys are good. Okay. So everybody got my slides I sent out to help you with your setting up your audio in case you lost it. Did you guys all get that? Okay, good. Um,
I didn't see the slide, Steve. What did you have a subject line for that?
yeah, it's always got a subject line. It says, I don't remember what it said. And you're on the mailing list, David. You should have gotten it. I'll send it to you again, but it should have been in there. Check your spam folder. But I just made some slides out and sent them out so that if you lost your audio. Okay, and I think I put this in there too, but let me reiterate just a little bit. Always start your radio and your interface before you do anything else, and then start your software. At the end of your session, when you're done, make sure you shut your software down and then your radio. I'll just do it in reverse. Because if you don't, you'll lose your audio every time, or you'll lose your microphone, and then you got to go find it again. So make sure you shut it down in sequence and you start it up in sequence. Good evening, Brother Staker. How are you? Okay. So did everybody get FLMessage and FLAmp downloaded and installed? Is there anybody?
KD7EMQ, Joe.
Okay. Robert, if you would please mute your audio so we're not getting audio coming across.
John. Kilo Echo South Golf Papa Kilo. No traffic, and I expect our numbers will be low if the Super Bowl still is going on. KD7UUJ, Steve.
Robert, mute your audio if you would, please. You're coming across on the audio for the Zoom.
KM7CJE, Huey.
Steve, I don't know if you have
KM7EAG,
I don't know if you have the control.
There. Okay, I got it. We're good. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. We can't wait any longer for everybody. So, if you've got it installed and I probably should have had you wait to install FLMessage and FLAmp until today. I hope everybody selected expert mode. If not, let's get that taken care of right now. So did everybody select expert in FLMessage when you started it? Okay, so you should have a screen that looks like something similar to this. Let me share my screen. Okay, it looks similar. It should look similar to this, depending on what form you've got up. And is that something similar to what you all have, or? Okay, okay. Let's just.
No, Steve, I don't have that. How do you get there?
Okay.
Was that in the download or was it something when I open it?
Well, okay. So go ahead and go to wherever you downloaded FLMessage or FLAmp or both, right? And let me share a different screen with you just for a second. And this will save a lot of headache for you guys. And maybe you've already done this.
Steve, I have a question. You showed FLMessage, but you also showed FL
Digi, yeah.
Digi. Should we have them both opened?
Yeah, open FL Digi first. Okay.
And I did not get the slide, so I didn't get the original link either. So maybe you need to double check to see if I'm on your list.
I just made sure you were on my list. So the original, this is the original link. This is the same one we used last week, so you're good there. The slides I will resend you. All the slides are doing is telling you how to recover your audio, transmit and receive if you lose them by shutting it down incorrectly. Okay. All right. Let me come on. There it is. Okay. That's not the one I wanted. Okay, anyway, let me just tell you rather than trying to well, I could drag it over to this other screen. Let's see. Okay, so what I've done on mine is everything related to digital. I've made a folder and called it Ham Digital, right? Right. So when you click on it, it brings up all your digital programs that you're using, right? So in FL Digi, I've made in the Ham folder file, this one here, I have made one that's called FL Digi. And in FL Digi, you've got whatever FL Digi programs that you plan on using. FLAmp, FLARQ is part of the FL Digi. You never use that. That's part of a included program in one of the modes that we use. But FL Digi, FLMessage, and FLAmp should all be in that file. That way you can find everything. You can just click on it, go directly to it. So if you want to take just a minute and do that before we get started, you can do that. Once you get, and the way you do that is FLMessage and FLAmp, FLDigi, and FLARQ all have their own icon that they load on your desktop, right? Unless you told it not to, you can drag them over and put them in the box. And that's where we're going to need them for tonight, is in a box that you know where they're at on your desktop easier. So take just a few minutes and drag and drop everything into that file folder. Is there any questions? Did I go too fast? Okay.
Dave, I'm still trying to figure out how do I get that expert mode you wanted.
We'll get to that here in a minute. That's why, but just wait until we get all the stuff slid over into that box. Larry, is your digital still working fine?
Yes.
Okay, good.
So Steve, were we supposed to configure FLMessage with our personal information, date, files, all that stuff?
Yep. If you
Okay.
want to get ahead of us, you can do that. Yep.
Oh no. Okay, no, I don't want to get ahead. I was just wondering if that was assigned.
Yeah, that's what we'll be going into.
Roger.
So is anybody still moving files? Okay. Okay, so if you haven't done it yet, if you look down at the bottom of your taskbar, look and see if FLAmp and FLMessage are running down there. If they are not, go ahead and double click on them and start them. Now, do just one at a time. Let's do FLMessage to start with. So bring up FLMessage, and I'll go ahead and share my screen here. Well, it'll look different than your screen because mine's already installed. So does it?
Steve?
Yes. Yes. Who said Steve?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see him pop up.
Okay. Tell me what screen you're looking at. I should have uninstalled mine and reinstalled it is what I should have done. So so are you looking at a screen that gives you file, form, templates, configures, auto send, and utilities across the top? Is there anybody that's not seeing that?
Yes, I don't see that.
Okay.
So Steve, you might want to ask. So I think it was Jeff that was doing that. You might want to have Jeff see if he can share his screen to make it a little easier.
Okay.
Because like if I go like this, or actually you cannot start. Yeah. So if you stop sharing your screen, Jeff should be able to share his, and it might make it easier to try to walk through.
Well, the problem is I'm using two different computers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
It was a good idea, though.
Winston, share your screen. You've got yours all configured though too, don't you? Okay, we're not seeing your FLDigi screen though, or FLMessage screen. I'm sorry. There it is. Yeah, you're already configured. Go ahead and shut your share off. Anybody? Yeah, okay, that'll show you, but they need to know how to get to it. They need to have that first screen first, and they're not getting that. So
right there. That's what he just did. He changed it, so that's what it's coming up with.
oh, okay,
And
okay.
he goes to tools.
So is this what you guys are seeing here?
Yes, that's what I've got.
Okay. Okay. So select tools at the top and then select expert dialog.
Got it.
Okay.
Sorry.
No worries. No worries. I got ahead of you. I shouldn't have had you guys load that software. I should have
Steve,
waited.
Steve, you probably ought to tell them to go to config and user interface so it comes up with the expert every
I
time.
will. Yeah, I will. Yeah,
Okay,
once we get it
perfect.
up and running. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, well, you're there. Let's just use yours. So I'll do the narrating and Winston's going to show the share here. So go over to config, click on config, and go down to user interface. And click on user interface. Okay, and it'll give you this box right here. Click on user interface equals expert. That way it'll come up with the big screen every time and you'll be all set to go. Okay. Now, let's see. That should
Yeah.
see interface.
Steve?
Yeah.
Now mine's up there like that, but except mine doesn't show underneath a Word file. It doesn't show ARRL, radiogram, message,
depends.
record.
Yeah, that'll depend on what template you're using. While you're in FLMessage, go over to configure and go into personal data and fill in your personal data.
Yeah, Curtis, I think Curtis, you're the one that was saying that yours doesn't have that.
Yeah, mine.
I don't ever have
No,
mine. Mine's all
Okay.
blank until I go to use it. So
Oh,
you don't have to worry about it. It'll come up, and then when you go to use it, I think at some point, probably not tonight, Steve will show us that process when you, like you said, when you go to use that template.
Right.
okay. Yeah, I've got that filled out, but I still don't have that ARRL. Does that?
Okay.
Whatever.
Winston, go ahead and exit out of that one and go into templates and show him what I'm talking about with the files, with the different folders or different templates, I should say. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, go into templates now. Okay.
Do
Now
load.
Yep, load.
Okay.
Oh, that's not what I wanted either. Let me see where it's at. Oh, it's got to be that. It looks different than mine.
Yeah, I'm not sure where to go from here, Steve.
ASH sound.
Are you sure it's not form that you're trying to get at, Steve? Not templates?
What I'm trying to do is get into FLMessage templates. I think you got to go into users.
It's all these forms right here, isn't it?
Yeah, it
The
should be the
form.
form.
Oh,
The
forms.
form.
Yeah, it's under forms. Gosh, dang, that's right. It's under forms, not templates. I'm sorry. There. Now, right there, you can
Okay.
see all the different
And then-
types of forms. And if you go to the ARRL one, it's under,
Radiogram.
yeah, radiogram.
Okay.
Okay. So
I
it's
got
just different. It's just a different form that you use for different things, right? So we'll work on that here in a minute. But let's get set up with the rest of it. We're getting ahead of where I want to be here for a minute. So if you've got all that information filled out, go ahead and minimize it. Don't delete. Don't exit out of it, but minimize FLMessage to your taskbar, and bring up FLAmp. Nah.
So, Steve, this is Bryce. I can guess what FLMessage stands for. What does FLAmp stand for? What does it do?
I'm not sure what it stands for.
What does it do then?
Well, there's just different kind of formats you use for different types of messages. So, and we'll get into that. Okay. So let me share my screen. Well, I can just tell you. So follow Winston. I'll tell him what to do, and you just follow what he's doing on his screen. So the first two, the info, be sure you put your call sign in the call sign first, right? In info, type whatever you want this to say. In mine, I've got this is an ERC station, okay? Because I want people to know I'm part of the ERC.
So how did he get to info? I'm not there.
Okay, so are you on FLAmp?
Yes, I'm on FLAmp.
Okay, so go into configure.
Okay. Okay.
Now the first two are going to go underneath information. The first two are going to be check marked. Auto sync with FLDigi, both of those that say auto sync with FLDigi. You want both of those marked. Nothing else until you get clear down to auto save subfolders in local time. And I like to have that saved in local time.
Steve,
Yes.
I have a check mark enable text on report. Do I take it off from that?
Yeah, I don't have mine on. I haven't been, I don't use that.
Okay.
Okay. The only ones that I'm going to tell you is the only ones that are marked.
Okay,
Okay,
thank
so
you.
save relay data is not is not checked. You can save your relay data if you want to. That's the relay information you send out to the net control station, for instance, right? And then the next one down is checked. The auto save receive data on 100% reception. You want that checked. Nothing else is checked. You should be good to go right there.
Mine's not the same as yours.
What do you mean it's not the
I've
same?
got auto save
Uncheck it.
subfolder,
Just uncheck
and
it.
I don't have that up above. I don't have that save relay,
What
and I
version
don't have
of click on help
it.
click on help and go
Okay.
to click on help and go to about and tell me what version.
2.2.05.
Oh, okay. That's why is because you can go and it'll work right now, but you'll need to update your FLAmp. That's why they've changed
Okay.
that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now let me just show you right here, since the question was already brought up. And we'll get into this a little bit later, right? But what I'm going to show you here, click on your transmit screen on FLAmp. Okay. Now, when you send a message in FLAmp, you're going to compose that message in on a Windows program that's called Notepad. Okay, you don't want to compose a message in FLAmp on a Word system or LibreOffice or anything like that, because there's all the control characters and all that kind of crap in there that just absolutely raise total hate and discontent with digital communications. So you want to go ahead and bring up Notepad. Type in your message. Just type in "the cow jumped over the moon." Okay. Now, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to save that folder, save that file to a folder where you know it's going to be, right? And name it. So whatever Winston decides to name it here. And I save mine to my desktop, but that's just fine, however you want to do it. Okay. Go ahead and clear out of that one. And now go to where your file is, and what you're going to do is you're going to take that file that you just made. You're going to left click on it and hold it. And you're going to take it over and drop it on DND. Right there. Okay. Now that file is in there. Now, if you go ahead and click on transmit, and I don't know how many of you are up on 9.4 right now. Not that transmit, the transmit down on just above where the file is there. It says transmit all or transmit. Yeah, click that. And it'll go ahead and load that and transmit that file with your call sign and all of that kind of thing. You should be on 146.9.4, Winston. We're not using 449 because we got some of the guys up in Island Park that can't hear the 449.
It may just be showing there on his FL. Because I mean,
Okay.
it can show anything when it's on FM. So
Right.
my bounces all over the place. Mine's actually at 0.
Right.
Yeah, I was on the M&N 70 centimeter
Yeah.
repeater, so we changed that over. So we should be
So
good
you
to
can
go.
go ahead and exit out of the file. That one. You can leave that one up until you hit transmit, and then it'll show what you're going to do there. So once he hits transmit, okay, so he's transmitting the data. You'll see it coming across his screen up on top. Is anybody else hearing it on the radio?
Yeah, I'm getting it.
Good.
I'm hearing it. You just
Now, if you go to receive on FLAmp, you will see the blocks filling in, and you'll see if there's any that you missed. So, okay. So now, if you go to the receive section on FLAmp, you'll see the blocks across there. Is there any that anybody have any that is missing? Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead and stop sharing your screen there for a second, Winston, if you would.
I got lost a while back there, Steve.
Okay. So where did you get lost?
Well,
You
back
did
at
too,
notebook.
Curtis? Okay. Well, and that's what I'm saying. You asked the question, so I'm just going to show you how it works, or somebody did. We're getting a little ahead of it for a minute here. So, but let me just continue to show you what I'm talking about here. So, so this is what the message will look like that he just sent, right? All the blocks will be filled in. If there's a block here and a block here that's missing, it'll say missing such and such a block. And then so you can click on this right here and send a report. See, mine says once I click on the report and it sends, and mine I've got it set to so that I have to do it manually. Well, there it goes. Okay. So it's going to send missing 15, and why it says that I don't know, but it's all confirmed. So there was none that are missing. So that tells the sending station that the text that you received was complete. If all those blocks are full, if the blocks are not full, then you can, when you send that, it'll tell him which blocks were not completed, and he can send you those blocks only again and fill in your information. But we'll get into that a little bit later on. Let's but I wanted to touch on that just to answer a question there. So go ahead and minimize that to the bottom of the screen for right now. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go up here. Now remember where you put your folders, your shortcuts to these programs. And what we're going to do is go into configure and configure dialog. And it's going to pop up with this screen right here. Are you, I guess you're all seeing, let me know if you're not seeing the screen I'm poking at here. So you're in FLDigi configuration.
Oh, whoa.
Okay, so we're supposed to be looking at the sound card settings.
No, we're not going in sound card. You're getting ahead of me. Just go into this setting right here for right now. Just let it be wherever it is. And what we're going to do is we're going to go in down to miscellaneous right here. And we're going to click the plus sign next to miscellaneous. Once you click the plus sign to miscellaneous, click on auto start.
Steve, while you're getting done, I'm going to step out. I'm going to go shut up the chickens real quick. I'll be back.
Okay. Okay, so now you'll see the first one that you're going to install. Now, for UHF operators that use FLAmp or FLRig, you can install FLRig here to start automatically. I do not do that. I start FLRig first before I start FLDigi if I'm in HF, because I use FLDigi for the same for VHF and HF. And for VHF, I don't use FLRig, so I don't want it starting every time I start the digital on VHF. So I set it to start manually. As you noticed, it is not enabled right here. Okay, so go ahead and click locate right here on the side where it says FLAmp, and go over to where you stored that on your desktop. Like, okay, I'll show you here. So if you click locate. Now this is Windows 11, so I hope I'm not messing everybody up. But I go to my desktop. On my desktop, I go to Ham Digital, double click on Ham Digital. Then I go into FLDigi, and I go down to find FLAmp right here, and double left click on that, and it will load it in FLAmp. And let me know if I go too fast, guys. I have a tendency to get carried away, please. And I'm sorry if I did.
Mine's already been filled in, Steve. Is that,
That's
do I
because
need
I
to go
helped
through
you.
that?
That's because I helped you get set up with yours.
Thank you.
Don't click on it because you'll have to go find it again if you do. Okay, once you get that filled in, is there anybody that has not got that far so far?
I haven't.
Who said that? Oh, you, Jeff, you haven't?
No, it's
And
Bob Spain.
okay, I'll go back again. So from the beginning, let me exit out of this.
Well, I
I'm
already
on-
had my programs
on-
installed, so I didn't put them in a folder on my desktop.
Okay, well, wherever it installed it, you need to go find the EXE program. It should have left an icon on your desktop though, David.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what you're clicking on. You want to take that. That's a shortcut to the executable program. So
Okay.
if you just put that in the box, that's all I've done on my desktop. On my desktop, all this is the shortcuts to all
Okay,
those
yeah, I
programs.
have all the desktop shortcuts.
Okay, click on the desktop shortcut and that's what you want to put in there.
And what's the first program? Message and then AMP?
Well, the first program is on what you're looking at there is FLAmp. That's what we're trying to
Okay,
install right now.
okay, got it.
Okay, let me know is there anybody that has not got it installed so far?
Okay. I haven't.
Okay, Robert, where you at?
I'm an FL Digi configure, and
Okay.
I'm trying to locate the exec file.
Okay, so you go to miscellaneous, MISC. Click on the plus next to miscellaneous. You with me so far?
Yep, I'm there. I'm at auto. I've got the auto start screen with FL rig, etc. Blanks and the locate enabled test.
Okay, so go to the next one down, the FLAmp.
Okay.
Okay, and then click locate.
Okay.
And then find your FLAmp on your desktop and double left click on it.
Okay.
Have I lost you yet, Fred? Fred's one of our digital operators. He's been with us for a long time. But I wouldn't be surprised me if I lost him.
Just snoozing a little bit, Steve.
Okay. How you coming, David? Did you get it loaded?
Yes, I'm good, Steve. Thanks.
Okay, good. Because once we get them loaded, we're gonna shut down the software and start it back up again. But we're gonna load FLAmp here first.
I'm not loaded, Steve.
FLMessage. Who's not? What?
This is Kelsey.
Okay. What are you doing here?
None of my programs are showing loaded in my.
Are you double left clicking on them when you find them? You got to go find them and double left click on them. They'll be on your desktop on the icons that I told you about.
Yeah,
Hey Kelsey, I'll get remoted into your computer and help you with that.
Oh, good.
okay. That'd be great, son.
I'm way behind you again, Steve. I don't know that I can catch up. A Mac guy trying to use a Windows computer is a challenge.
Okay, so where are you and what do you need to know?
Well, I've lost FLAmp, but I'm trying to.
Okay, let me
figure
walk you
out where
through.
it's at.
Are you on Windows 11?
Yeah,
Okay. So go to the top. Can you see my
Oh.
screen?
yeah, I'm wasting these guys' time. I think you should go ahead.
You're fine. You're fine. Let's get you hooked up. Click on configure. Left click on configure. Left click on configure
Okay.
dialog. Are you with me so far? Okay, look at
Yeah.
my
Yep.
okay. Okay. And it should bring up this screen. It may not be exactly the way it looks, but it should bring up this extra screen.
Yeah,
On this side,
Yep.
pardon?
Yeah, I have that screen.
Okay. Go down to where it says miscellaneous and then click on the plus and open it up.
Yep.
Okay, click on auto start.
Yep.
Okay, and then go over to where it says FLAmp
Yep.
and click on locate. And it'll bring up this screen right here. Now, on the left-hand side, scroll up to where it says desktop and double left click on your desktop. Or let's see, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Now go down to wherever you stored that FLAmp and FLMessage icon that it loaded for you on your desktop. Go to where you've stored that. Mine is in Ham Digital.
Yeah, that's my problem. So right now I have FLAmp open. Help me stored. How do I store it somewhere?
FLAmp?
Yeah.
Hey, Steve, if you just go back to your where you've got the locate,
Yeah.
where it says program files 86 FL rig over there in the no, to the right, right next to like FL rig, it says C program files x86 or FLnet. To the right, where it says FLnet, it has that C program files x86. That's where Windows stores it. So if you go to that folder,
it is, but it's harder. It would be harder for me to tell him to get there than it would be to get to these desktop where the icon is.
right. I just don't think that when he installed it that he probably kept it on his desktop.
Well, that's how he started it. So it's there somewhere. So when you started FLAmp, you double clicked on that icon, didn't you, Jeff?
Well, no, I went back into the
start menu.
Yeah, the start menu and back into all files all the way down into there.
Okay.
How do I get it on the desktop?
Okay, let's do it this way.
Is it easier for him to share his screen?
No, I'll share mine. All right, let me quit sharing this one and let me share my main desktop here.
Steve, when I do this on my computer, Windows 11, when I do a search for FLAmp, it'll bring up and I can open it, run it as administrator, or open file location. So if I click open file location, then it'll show me the exact location of that file. Maybe he can do the same.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one would be. Okay, let's try it this way first. And if this doesn't work, then we'll try something else. So click on your start menu right here, Jeff. Right here. You see where my mouse is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go up to all.
Yep.
Go down to FLMessage.
Yeah.
Left click on it and drag it over to your desktop and hold it. You got to hold it and then release it. Now you've got an executable file shortcut. Did it work?
Let me try it again.
Jeff, you're trying to do this on a Windows 11 system, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So I can send you a link that you can click on so I can see what you're doing and you can see what's going on over here as well.
Yeah, just let's get that. Let's do this first. Let's not confuse him. Let's just do one thing at a time because it's hard enough because Jeff's not used to a Windows computer, so he runs a Mac. So when you click on it, Jeff, you got to hold it. Left click and hold that left click and drag it over and then release it.
Okay. So
Okay, let me show you again.
okay, and I now have FLMessage, FLAmp, and FLRig all in a folder on my desktop.
Okay, okay. All right, so you've got that. All right.
Yep.
Okay.
So
All right. Now let's go back to your folder right here. Oh, let's see. I'm not sharing my screen, I guess so. But okay, now go ahead and click on next right here where FLAmp is.
yep,
Click on locate.
yep.
Okay. Now go over to the very left-hand side, this slider bar, and go to desktop. And look for that file that you just made that you put those icons in.
Okay, yep, I got it.
Okay, now double left click on the FLAmp one. Double left click on it. Did it work?
Yeah, I got it. I got it loaded.
Okay. Now, okay, everybody, make sure that you check mark the enable or it will not load for you. So make sure that's check marked.
Okay.
Okay. Now, where you're going to put FLMessage is you're going to go to program 1 because it does not have a file holder for FLMessage. So just go to program 1 and click locate again. And this time you're going to go to your desktop and you're going to double click on FLMessage. Somebody's transmitting on digital there on 9.4. Somebody must have hit the send button or something. Okay, is everybody loaded? Make sure that you enable it on the other side of the locate. Is there anybody that hasn't loaded? Okay. All right. Click save. And it won't do anything when you click save. It's just going to stay right there. But click save and click close. Okay. Now, what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you shut down your software and restart it. But the first thing you want to do is shut down FLDigi and FLAmp first, because sometimes they don't like to close if you close FLDigi first. It takes forever. So always close FLDigi and FLAmp first, and then go ahead and restart your program, and we'll see if FLMessage and FLAmp comes up.
So start FLDigi, is that what you said, Steve?
Yep, just start FLDigi, and it should bring up FLAmp and FLMessage after FLDigi is started.
That worked.
Good. All right, Jeff, good. Got you, Curtis. Okay. If anybody, if it didn't start for somebody, let me know so I can work with you here for a minute. And Jesse and David, by the way, it's good to have you with us tonight too. I didn't get a chance to say hello to you guys last week, so.
Hey, Steve, this is Mike. I've got a question on FLAmp.
Go ahead, Mike.
When I try to edit the location of the file that I want to transmit, I can't edit in that box.
You're double left clicking on it and it's not loading it? Just double
left clicking on what?
On the file itself. Double left click on the icon on the folder, on the file.
Okay, let me look. Well, when I double click on the file, it just brings up Notepad.
Oh, you're not clicking on the exe file then. You're not clicking on the executable file.
I think he said he was trying to transmit. He was trying to add it to the.
Yeah.
What he was trying to do.
The FLAmp is working.
Right. But he's double left clicking on the file and it's bringing up Notepad, which means it's not an exe file.
Right. He's trying to drag the text document because he wants to transmit it, I think is what he's trying to do.
Yes.
No, you're trying to transmit the text file?
Yeah, so he needs to left click on it, hold it, drag it to the D&D so that it shows up in there.
So like when you transmitted the cow jumps over the moon, that's what I was just trying to do.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so what you're doing once you make that file and you name it and put it on your desktop, what you're going to do is left click on it, hold it, and drag it over to the DND, the red DND on your transmit.
Oh, the red DND. Ah.
Yep. And that will load it in your transmit buffer. Okay.
Okay, there it goes.
Okay, is there anybody that that FLMessage and FLAmp did not start for? Cool. Okay, let me just do a quick little demonstration here if I could. Okay.
I'm getting a W7QVN's file on my computer here.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, and if you look at your it's hard to do a demonstration when somebody's sending a message like this because it's going to come across everybody's computer. It's not going to miss a couple of blocks because the repeater is so strong that it's on HF. You'll see that there might be a block or two missing depending on how strong that station is. You'll miss one or two blocks or something like that. And that's the benefit of FLAmp because you can send that information back to him with that report button and it will tell him I'm missing blocks 1, 5, and 9, for instance. And he can load 1, 5, and 9 only and send that to you without having to send the whole blasted thing all over again. Okay. So that's a nice thing about that. And we'll get into a little more detail about this kind of stuff a little bit later again, because I mean, we can really get into the weeds right here and you guys aren't ready for it. So, let me do a little demonstration here. See if I can. Okay. Let's see what you get with this one. I'm going to send this in grayscale. Oh, well, I was going to send it faster than that. Hold on. Let me. Take forever to send it that way.
I've got I don't do so far.
Why can't I stop the transmit? All right, you miserable thing. I'm on. There it goes. Okay. Stuck on me there for a minute.
So did you end the transmission?
Yeah, I just stopped it.
Okay.
So I'll send it a little faster here and let you see what it does. All right. There's all kinds of this is just kind of a fun little thing that you can do with it. It doesn't really have a benefit, and
Well, you're sending an image. So I would think in an emergency situation, if you needed to identify a child or a parent,
yes,
you had some ID, you could transmit that to confirm identification.
Now, but I'll show you how long it takes to send a colored picture, and these are small pictures, so you can't send a very big one. Why did it do that? Just kicked me out. That's interesting. I've never had that happen before.
So with us going through the repeater, Steve, what baud rate is it running at?
1200.
Oh,
Well,
still-
go ahead.
No, I was still at 1200. I thought it would be faster.
It might be. I'm not sure what it's running at, tell you the truth. On like for instance, VARA, when you're running VARA FM, we're limited to 300 baud on HF, but it's using several combinations of different modes at 300 baud to increase the speed. So it's a little different than.
Yeah, didn't they change that recently where we could go up to, I think, either 600 or 900 baud on each?
I
could have sworn there was something that came out, but I hadn't dug into it enough yet, and I should because I do a lot of transmissions on HF. Not as much as you, but some.
Okay, let's try this one more time. I don't know why it dumped to me, but it sure did. It won't load it. Keeps dumping me out. I've never had that happen before. Anyway, it just suffice it to say that it will send the images. I'll get that fixed so that we're not having to mess with it next week, and I can do a little more demonstrations. But we're right close to being out of time here for tonight. Is there anything else anybody else wants to talk about or mention or questions, whatever you might have?
So, Steve, this is Bryce.
Go ahead.
I got a heading that looked like it was a heading to an image, but the image is just looks like snow on a black background. There's nothing recognizable in it. Is it at my end, or is that actually what was sent?
I don't know. David, did you get part of an image that I was sending?
Yeah, so I got the image. It says I don't do drugs and something at my age.
Yeah.
And then when you cancel that, then I get the snow on the black.
Okay. So you didn't get the first part of the image, Bryce?
No, there's a little tiny band at the top, maybe 3 pixels tall. It looks like maybe it was trying to be an image, but almost all of what's in the screen is just black and white.
Double check your audio settings, turn your squelch wide open and check your green slider at the bottom. Make sure you're receiving at 30 plus or minus 30 or 20 right in there.
That's right on minus 20.
Okay.
And so last week you told us to put the slider squelch right at the top of the bouncing green, which is where it's at.
Right. Yeah, that's
and
fine for
the radio is wide open.
That's fine for FM on the repeater.
Sorry, that was me. I was testing.
So
Bryce, what I forgot to do is I forgot to turn my squelch all the way open on my
Yeah, it's all the way open on the radio.
on the rig. Okay.
You don't need to open your squelch wide open on an FM repeater though. You should be fine by closing your squelch. I mean, we close the squelch over there on the right hand side when we're on the repeater, so it shouldn't cause a problem.
Well, so I got the header. I don't do drugs or drink. At my age, I get. Is that part of the image, or is that?
Oh, okay. Then you got it. Then you got it. Yeah, I stopped the transmission.
I see. Okay.
Because it was. I'll try it one more time here and let's see if it'll load for us.
I did not get that. Should we all be receiving that?
You what?
I didn't get anything
Okay.
from that transmission.
And are we seeing that message come across on FLDigi or an FLAmp on the receive?
It should come across FLDigi.
Okay,
Well, a
I'm
screen will pop up. A screen will pop up with FLMessage is what it'll do.
I'm not seeing it.
But it will show up in the FLAmp, right?
It'll show. It'll come across an FLMessage, not FLAmp. Okay, here it comes. Now, this is a color picture, so it's going to take a little longer to send. Usually when we're just messing around, we do it in grayscale because it sends a lot faster. Now, if you make the picture smaller, they also go faster. There's also an X1, X2, X4 that you can set that up for, which is fine for a repeater like this, but on HF, you'll probably lose a lot of the picture if you try to send it too fast.
I'm getting the image, Steve, and it's coming up in FLDigi.
Yeah, but if you look at the top of your screen, it'll say
which screen?
JPG. It'll be a JPG, which is but it's an FLMessage though. It's a FLMessage file. I think it is anyway. Maybe it is just.
Bring up. Okay. Now
It might just be FLDigi, but I thought it was a FLMessage format.
I'm not showing anything on my FLMessage.
Okay. Well, it might be behind FLDigi. So the screen that pops up, it might be behind FLMessage.
That's where mine was.
Yeah. Who's sharing their screen now?
That's me, Steve Winston.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm at the same download rate that whoever's showing their screen is.
Yeah, see, and I'm sending it at X2, and you can go higher than that. But even at that, when you send color, you notice how slow it is. There's actually a better way to send pictures of a disaster scene or a lost child or something like that, and it's called slow scan TV. It sends a bigger picture, it sends a color picture, and it sends a faster picture. So if you're interested in that, you can download that for your phone. It's called, I can't remember what it's called. It's called.
So now that we have these three apps installed, what is the application? What's the need?
Okay, so that's called SSTV encoder if you want to play around with that. And it's just audio. It doesn't connect to your computer. You can download it for your phone and just hold it over the audio. As I said, the benefit to a picture is it's very slow. So you know it's going to be limited to size and all that kind of thing. It's going to be beneficial if that's the only thing you've got to be able to send a picture of a missing child or whatever.
No, what I was referring to is what is the application for FLMessage, FLAmp, and FLDigi?
Well, we'll get into that. And my my radio timed out. It took too long to send it. I've got my radio set at 3 minutes, so it took too long to send it. But you can see see what it did there. So, so again, the FLAmp has a different way of sending messages. You can request a resend of certain blocks again, and so with FLMessage you can't do that. You receive the whole message, or you have to resend the whole message. So there's just different applications. It depends on, most people use FLAmp over FLMessage to send messages because of the value of the resending the blocks. Okay. But still the format in both FLMessage and FLAmp is forward error checking. It's not totally error free. So there is some room for error in there. And that's a concern when you're trying to send medical information requests or, something like that. But for the most part, I have never seen it actually make a mistake when you're sending in FLAmp and receiving it as a file. FLAmp will receive it as a file and hold it in that file. All these messages that you're seeing come across are stored in your computer. So you can go back and retrieve them from the computer, and I'll show you where you can do that.
Steve, can I just share the last part of your image that didn't come across because it's pretty funny?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Sure.
It says, I don't do drugs and I don't drink. At my age, I get the same effect by standing up too fast.
Yeah. And that's me all over the place, you guys.
Hey, Steve, can I break in for a sec?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just maybe to answer that question a minute ago on the application.
Okay.
The real application of FLDigi is being able to send a large amount of information in a real hurry. So if you have to send a lot of text, a whole list of medications, or a whole list of supplies, you can do it really quickly.
Yeah, the only thing is, and we'll get into this later on after we're done with FLDigi and this kind of thing, we'll go into WinLink. And peer-to-peer on WinLink is a very, I'm not really interested in WinLink over the internet, right? That doesn't interest me. It works, it is valuable, and as long as we have the internet, it's fantastic. You can send messages to telephones, you can send emails out on WinLink, all that kind of thing. But what interests me is the peer-to-peer operation, radio to radio, okay? The difference between the two I'll give you here in just a minute. But you got to remember that WinLink is totally error-free. It's not error checking, it's totally error-free. It will not receive the message unless it received exactly the way it's sent. The receiving station will ask a resend until it gets it correct, okay? So if you've got a medical term that's very, very sensitive and you need to have the spelling exact for a doctor, I would suggest you use probably a WinLink to do that, right? For general information and stuff like that, needed blankets, supplies and stuff like that. Other than medical terms, FLMessage works fantastic. Another reason, or FLAmp, another reason that FLAmp and FLMessage is superior over WinLink is because it goes out to a large group of people all at the same time. WinLink goes out to one person at a time. It's not sent out to a group. So that's kind of the difference between WinLink and FLAmp, or FLAmp and FLMessage. So I'll share my screen with you here, and I'll show you where you can go to retrieve these messages and stuff. So, or to see the messages that's been received or sent. So if you go into your start icon down at the bottom, the little four boxes, right? Go into the start icon and go into this PC or your C drive. This is your C drive, this PC, and then under C, of course. the operating system. Go down to where it says users. Whatever the name of your computer is, it'll be the second one down right here. You can go into there, and there might be a shorter way to do this. You guys might mention that if there is, but but once you click users, the users file, you can go down to FLMessage or FLDigi files. Double left click on FLDigi files, and you'll have. Did I go to the wrong place? I think I did. Hold on just a minute. I might be misleading you guys. Oh, it might be under program files. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's under program files. So back up to this PC again and go into program files x86. Well, that isn't it either. Where in the crap is it? Haven't been in there for so long that I drug him to my desktop, so I'd have a shortcut to him. All right, give me just a minute and I'll go find it. I should have had this ready, and I told you I'm not a trainer.
Steve, can I interject?
Yes.
So if you go under FLAmp
Uh-huh.
and you go File, click on Folders, that'll take you to exactly wherever there are. So mine,
okay.
And it should bring it up. Then you should have relay, receipt, RX, scripts, and transmit.
Yeah, you mean on the FLAmp page itself?
Yeah. So if you go to the FLAmp and literally just click on File and Folders.
Right. That'll bring up your FLAmp ones, but it won't bring up your FLMessage ones.
Well, then you do the same thing with FLMessage. You go to FLMessage and folders, and that brings them all up.
Does it?
Yeah, which is a different folder location for me.
Okay.
I have a different location.
Yeah, they must have changed that a little bit because it didn't used to do that a while back. Okay. Cool. I learned something new tonight. How about that? And I thought I knew everything.
So I'm in that. I went to FLMessage and clicked that, and I've got ARQ, CSV, custom, FLAmp, ICS, log files, temp files, transfers, wrap. Do I just paw through those till I find something, or is there some more guidance?
No.
Well, it should be under.
Can you share your screen, Chris? I can bring it up here if you can't.
Share. Give me just a second. Should be this one here.
I can get it here.
Oh, window.
Okay, so from okay, on your FLAmp screen, go to Files and Folders, and there's your transmit and your receive, both right there. So if I go to the RX, you'll see the ones that I received today. The cow jumped over the moon. Okay, and it'll bring it up in Notepad. Okay.
Nice.
Except mine is empty, but I received both message. I received
well
over the moon, and then I got the cow jumped over the moon and hit Mars. But my RX folder is skimpy.
Is that before we had it starting with FLAmp with FLDigi though? Did we receive that before you had it starting with FLDigi?
Well, I don't know. Whenever you sent it, I just was following the same order you were following.
Okay, let me send something again here and see if you're getting it.
Hey, Steve,
Yeah.
could you, as you're going through that, I may have missed it, but when you're composing a message there in FLDigi, and you went over don't use Word or LibreOffice, but use Notepad and all that, and you populate the box on the bottom with that text, and then do you just hit transmit? Is that how you're doing it?
Yeah, unless you're only transmitting a certain blocks, and then you transmit those blocks, or you can select transmit all. If you just select transmit, it'll only select or transmit the blocks you selected. So if you've manually selected 1 and 9, it's only going to send 1 and 9 if you click transmit. But if you click transmit all, it's going to send the whole file all over again.
Okay.
So the way we'll do this again, go down to the search box down at the bottom on your taskbar where it says search, and just type in Notepad. And it'll be the first one that comes up. Click on Notepad.
What's the search? I don't have one is that SK?
Is there a little what version of Windows are you running?
Okay, we're confused. You're not referring to the FL Digi screen?
No, go down to the search bar on your taskbar.
This is actually within Windows. So like if you have
we're on a different sheet of paper.
Okay, let me show you. Okay, you know where your start icon is on your Windows start?
I do, but we might be going down a rabbit hole.
Okay.
I just wanted, I have a message composed on FL Digi. It's sitting, I copy and pasted. I've got the message sitting in FL Digi.
In the second section of the screen?
Correct.
Oh yeah, well
that's all I was asking is how do you transmit that? Not how to
you're not trying to transmitting it in FLAmp. You're just trying to transmit it.
Correct.
Oh, if you're just trying to transmit it, then you can go down and you can hit Control T, and then immediately, and make sure your cursor is at the very last line of what you transmitted or what you typed in. Hit Control T, and then immediately hit Control R. That will put a $R at the end of your transmission so that your transmitter stops once the signal is sent, once the text is sent. There you go, you're sending.
Okay.
Okay. So does anybody else need to know how to send a file with FLAmp again? Okay. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else have any questions of any kind? Okay. Remember, if you're gonna practice FL Digi after we shut down the net, please don't do it on the 9.4 repeater. That's left for emergencies and general communications. And I would get my behind side in a skid if I let people do that. So that's the Racy's Aries repeater. So, and I've got permission to do it while we're training, and that's all. So thanks everybody. Look for you next Sunday. I hope this was informative to you. I'm sorry I'm not a better presenter than I am, but I'm pretty shallow when it comes to that kind of thing. So
well, I think we can all agree that we do appreciate you putting this on to give some level of guidance, right?
Well, eventually we'll get to the point, even if I take you the long way around to get there. So, all right, you guys have a great week coming up, and thanks again for all you do.
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate
Thank you, Steve. Good night.
Thanks, Steve. I'll be emailing you a list of questions.
Good. Do it.